Hello students, welcome back to the third video of chapter number 6, that is molecular basis of inheritance of class 12. In today's session, we will try to understand the point number 6.2, which is given in your NCERT, that is the search for genetic material. Okay, in search of the genetic material, there are several scientists who has done their level best to find out the genetic material. The journey has been started by the Mendel and Michel. They were the scientists who they were the pioneer of this genetics. They have started the journey at the very first time. Both the scientists has worked almost at the same time at the different regions. What Mendel have done, Mendel have given the name as a factor that is responsible for transferring that inheritance feature into the next generation. Whereas the Michel has concluded that there is something in the nucleus that is involved that get transferred into the next generation. Okay, but because of the unavailability of certain instruments to identify or recover those molecules intact from the nucleus, he was unable to conclude his experiment, and he has just given the name as a nucleus. Okay, after that there were several scientists who had worked in the same direction and try to find out the genetic material, the real genetic material, what it is. Today we are going to talk about the transforming principle. Transforming principle was given by the Frederick Griffith in 1928. Frederick Griffith was working in his laboratory and was working with certain strains of the bacteria. The main species he had worked was Streptococcus pneumoniae. Now, Streptococcus pneumoniae are of different types. There are certain strains of the Streptococcus pneumoniae. These Streptococcus pneumoniae are responsible for causing of the pneumonia. Okay, that we know. So, when this Griffith has grown the species on the laboratory media, on the Petri dishes, he has identified two different species in the selective media. As you know, this is the selective media, these are the laboratory plates, and this selective media is in them. Now, as these organisms, these microbes grows on this selective media plates, they will have the colony on top of them. They will develop into the form of the colonies. Now, this strain which he has grown in one plate, that will be having a shiny appearance. Okay, so this shiny appearance he termed as the S strain. S strain. Why? Because it appears smooth on the top. The surface of this colony is smooth. What this colony is made up of? Those colonies are nothing but the mass of the growth of the bacterial cell. Okay, so the bacterial strain which appears smooth, it is given the name as S strain. Whereas some strains that are not smooth, given the name as R strains. Okay, so there were two strains. Now he has started doing experiment by using the mice. What he has done is he inserted this S strain into the mice. Now what happened? The mice was dead. Okay, so he has found out that there is something present in this bacteria that is responsible for killing of the mice. Okay, now here we can write mice. Now in the second trial, what he has done, he has inserted the R strain, R bacterial strain. Inserted, that means he has given the injection or something to the mice. Now he has injected R strain into the mouse. Now when he injected R strain into the mice, what happened? Those mice were alive. They were not killed by or not dead by insertion of these strains. Now it was little strange that both the strains are of the Streptococcus pneumoniae. Though they are the same strains, one strain is not able to kill the organism, whereas the one strain has got something in them that is responsible for killing of the mice. Now what he has done in the third trial is he had killed the S strain by heating. So he killed S strain. Now when he inserted this heat killed S strain into the mice, what happened? They were now did not die. They were still alive. What happened at this time? Whatever the content present into that S strain, that was not transferred into the this mice. Okay, was not entered, because this strain is dead. Without this organism, the content cannot get transferred into this mice, so they were live. Now in the fourth trial, what he has done is he has mixed both the strain. Now whatever the heat kill S strain is there, he has mixed this heat kill S strain with the live R strain. Now what was happened? This S strain plus R strain. Now this is the heat kill. This is a heat kill S strain and R strain, that means the rough strain. When we have inserted this into the mice, what happened? These were dead. Now he has got the surprise result. Why? This S strain, when it is killed organisms, this mice is live. Now when it is mixed with the R strain, though the R strain has not got any capacity, it is not having that content which is able to kill the mice. Now when the killed organism are mixed with the R strain, this got something transferred from this smooth strain to the R strain. Now what could be the result? Now suppose this is the bacteria coccus that are always round in shape. So streptococcus, these are the bacteria. We can normally, these are the kill bacteria S strain. Okay, now it has got something in them. We can say the genetic material. Now these different cells, the live cell, when it is mixed in some flask or vessels, then they will aggregate with it. They will come in contact with each other. Now this has got its own DNA. Now when they are mixed with each other, there is the material which is present inside the heat kill S strain will transfer into the R strain. So whatever the content is present in the S strain will get transferred into the R strain. Now the R strain is virulent. Virulent का simple meaning होता है able to kill. Okay, so now this R strain is a virulent, whatever. This is now able to kill the organism. Now he has concluded that there is something present inside the cell which is able to transfer into the other cell. That is called the transforming principle. He simply given the name as the transforming principle. He was unable to tell that what actually this transforming principle is. Okay, why? Because he did not prove that this is whether DNA, RNA or protein. So he has just given the name as a transforming principle. After that, there were certain other scientists who had worked for the same. The British work was carried over by certain other scientists when that is in search of the biochemical characteristics of this genetic material. There was a group of scientists called Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. There were three scientists who has worked and tried to find out what is the biochemical characteristics of the genetic principle. So, transforming principle. Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy has worked for about 10 years from 1933 to 1944 with the S strain of the Streptococcus pneumoniae, because they want to prove that what is there with the Streptococcus pneumoniae which get transferred from the particular strain to the another strain and make the other strain virulent. That is why he had used the take the culture of the S strain, and he has one by one added the different enzymes in them, and they have repeated the Griffith experiment several times. So now what they have done, they have grown this S strain and added the DNAs. Now when they have tried to do the same experiment as the Griffith experiment, this strain was not, the genetic principle, the transforming principle doesn't work over here. And in these two cases, when we try to remove this RNAs by using RNAs from this bacterial state, this experiment was worked, and this was also worked. It says that in presence of DNAs, the genetic material cannot get transferred into the other strain. So the genetic material must be DNA, because DNA has been broken down in presence of DNAs. So the DNA must be the transforming principle in the Griffith experiment, whereas this RNA and proteins are not involved in the transforming principle. So they have proved that what is finally transforming, or how does the transforming principle functions. They had also tried to extract the DNA, RNA and proteins in the pure forms and try to do certain experiment. Okay, and at last they have concluded that the DNA is the material which gets transferred from one cell to another cell. But at the same time, other group of scientists were not agree with that. So transforming principle was not cleared. After that, there was in the year 1952, Hershey and Martha Chase has done an experiment. What they have done in that experiment, they have taken the viruses in their experiment. They have used the bacteriophages. Bacteriophages means the phages, the viruses which fed on bacteria. They kill the bacteria, or they get nutrients from the bacteria, they infect the bacteria. Hence, those are called the bacteriophages. So they have grown in the laboratory. They have grown the bacteriophages in the artificial media, and in that media they have used the radioactive components. The radioactive components were used. There are two different types of radioactive molecules were used. They were S35, that is sulfur, radioactive sulfur, there was S35, and radioactive phosphorus, that was P32. So they have taken two different containers, or in these two different containers they have added the media. In that media, out of the two containers, in first media they have added the radioactive sulfur, whereas in the second one radioactive phosphorus was added. Now, as we know that in the synthesis of the protein it requires the sulfur. So the sulfur S35 will get incorporated during the synthesis of the protein, during this formation of the amino acids. So the bacteria or the viruses which are grown in presence of the radioactive sulfur, there will be radio labeled protein in them. Okay, so protein, where the protein present in the bacteriophages, obviously the outer coat which is made up of the protein. So this coat will be radio labeled. Over here I have shown first one, that is the virus, that those are grown in the radio labeled sulfur. So because of the presence of the sulfur, if viruses will grow, the protein will get incorporated with the radio labeled sulfur, and this protein now will be radioactive sulfur, radioactive protein. So this protein make the protein coat, or the coat of the viruses. This virus coat will be having the radio labeled sulfur. So these cells will be radioactive. Understand? In the second case, we have grown, that scientists have grown these viruses in presence of the media which contains radioactive phosphorus. So as we know, phosphorus need for the synthesis of the sugar phosphate backbone in the polynucleotide chain for the formation of the DNA. So if we grow something in the presence of the phosphorus, this phosphate molecule will get bind with the DNA. So whatever the phosphate molecule present into the media, there was radioactive. Hence this radioactive molecule bind with this bacteriophage. So now the genome of this phage will be radiolabel. So here two different radiolabel viruses are there. This is also radiolabel, this is also radiolabel, this is S label and this is the P label. S is present into the coat, that's why the protein coat, that's why the coat will be radioactive. Here the DNA material inside this phages will be radioactive. Now what they have done? They have taken certain bacterial cells for what these bacteriophage act on. So they have used E. coli as the bacteria for the infection, and they allow this bacteria, these viruses to infect the bacteria. So in two different beakers, they have added the E. coli strains, and along with the E. coli, they have transferred a virus culture. So they allow to get settled. Now what viruses will do? Viruses will attack on this bacteria and they will do infection to the bacteria. Now these viruses have infected these bacterial cells in both the different classes. Okay. Now what will happen in this? They will simply, when they will bind with the bacteria, they will inject their DNA inside the not DNA, till now it was not clear what they are injecting. So when they do infection, there is something that will be transferred inside these bacterial cells, or we can say the E. coli cells. Now what is the characteristics of the viruses? That when they will insert the genetic material into the bacterial strains, what they will do? They will hack their cells mechanism, their host mechanism, and they will multiply, they will do their own replication, or they will make their own replica in multiple numbers. So number of the genome that will get increased inside these bacterial cells. Now these viruses are there on the top or on the surface of the bacterial cells. This bacterial cell will having the multiple copies of their genome of bacteriophages. Now we have to do blending. During the blending, what will happen? It will have a little gel. So these viruses will get removed and they will suspend in the liquid which is present in those flasks. So they will be having suspended form of the virus coats, because these coats will not having the inside the genetic material in them. So there will be only empty coats, and there will be a presence of the bacterial cells. The bacterial cells must be containing more than 1 to whatever the number of the genome of these phages. So phages genome will be present into these bacterial cells. Now, as we know, the coats are lighter in weight than the bacterial cells, because viruses are tiny in size than the bacteria. Now during the centrifugation, what will happen? The lighter molecular weight will be go on the top of the liquid, whereas the higher molecular weight will get settled down. So, and the upper portion is now called as the supernatant. Okay, and over here in the supernatant, as the virus coats are lighter in weight, they will remain on the top. Now when they analyze both the cases in presence of the UV light, they have seen that the supernatant of the first case that was radioactive. Why? Because it contains the radiolabeled coats. Coats are not that, scientists know that coats are not getting transferred or not getting inserted into the bacterial cells, because they are viruses and they will insert only the genetic material into the viruses. So here they have found that in the supernatant that you know, this is something like the tube filled with the fluid, and when they do centrifugation, the cell mass will get collected at the bottom side and the liquid which will be raised on the top, that is called the supernatant. Now they have analyzed the supernatant that was radioactive in the first case, where the radioactive sulfur was used. So and in the second case over here, In the supernatant was not radioactive, but the cell mass which was collected down, that was radioactive. That means the cell itself, the bacterial cells were radioactive. Protein over here that is remaining outside is not getting incorporated or not getting inserted in these viruses. Okay, so what will be the genetic material over here? Obviously the DNA. DNA will be the genetic material that they have proven by radioactive substances. Hershey and Martha Chase have proven that genetic material must be DNA, not the protein. And after some years, it was also come in the existence that in some of the organism, instead of the DNA, RNA is also act as a genetic material. Okay, hope you are clear with this concept. Okay, now we move on the properties of the genetic material. Now, what should be the ideal characteristics or properties of the genetic material? How the genetic material looks like, और उसमें ऐसी क्या-क्या खूबियां होनी चाहिए कि उसको हम genetic material कह पाए? तो there should be these 4 characteristics of this properties should be there in the with the genetic material. What are they? They must be able to replicate. Whatever the genetic material is there, it should be having some capacity to replicate themselves and able to make the multiple copies of themselves. Second one, that is chemically and structurally stable. Whatever the genetic material is there, they should not be altered frequently. They should be chemically and structurally stable. So they must be having certain stability in the adverse condition. So they should not be changed themselves. So they must be active. They must be stable. So more active substances will be less stable and less active substances will be stable. Active substance है तो कुछ ना कुछ काम करता रहेगा and less active substance will always be stable. Third characteristic that provide the scope for the mutation. They should provide the scope of the mutation to create certain variation, and due to the variation only the new species can arise and still are in the existence because they have done certain changes in themselves. Fourth one, they must be able to express means उनके पास जिसके लिए बने हैं वो चीज को दिखाना, that is called the expression. Now if we compare both the DNA and RNA, because DNA and RNA both are genetic material. Okay, so now which is the perfect genetic material? In search of that, if we want to find out the perfect genetic material, we need to compare both. If we want to buy something from the market, what we'll do? We will compare that. Now over here also we will try to compare the properties of DNA and RNA. Now able to replicate. Over here, in both the cases, DNA and RNA, they are able to replicate. How? This character here we will write DNA and RNA. Okay. Now, first characteristic that is able to replicate. As we know, as we have seen, the central dogma technique which is given by the Crick. Okay. So what Crick has said? The genetic material or the DNA that is able to replicate themselves. That means they will be able to make their multiple copies by their own. Whereas there are certain genetic materials called the RNAs, which by using reverse transcription they will make the DNA from the RNA, so they also able to replicate themselves. To make their own copies, both are able to do. So these characteristics will be followed by both the DNA as well as the RNA. Now chemically and structurally stable, this is the most important characteristics or property of the genetic material. Whatever the genetic material is there, it must follow this property. Now chemically and structurally stable, that means in any condition they should not be able to alter themselves. As we have seen the Griffith experiment, what was that? Though the cell were dead, the genetic material was still able to transfer or transcribe in certain other cells. and make them in a new kind of cells. So that what the experiment want to say, that the DNA is more stable unit or more stable genetic material compared to the RNA. And RNA, as we know, RNA is playing certain other roles as well, that we have certain, they are playing the role of the catalytic, that means enzymatic role also performed by certain RNA. They have the structural role as well. They are active substances, they are more reactive substances, they get altered easily. So, and whatever the DNA, RNA is that they will directly make the proteins, and RNA is involved with the protein. When RNA is involved with the protein synthesis, there must be certain other molecules, they will bind with it and they will be more reactive. Hence DNA is the most stable, whereas the RNA is not that stable because they altered themselves. Now provide a scope for the mutation. In both the cases, mutation can be takes place. How? This, suppose here the DNA is double stranded in most of the cases, right? But due to certain errors or due to some mutagens, the mutation get created. But in case of RNA, the mutation rate, it will be higher. Once the mutation created into the DNA cell, that cannot be reversed. That means that mutation will be transferred in the next generation, whereas the mutation takes place into the RNA, that can be altered. Okay, they have more chances to alter. They, once they get mutated, doesn't mean they always get the same till the next mutation will take place. But over here the mutations are very frequent, so that they can come back in their original position. That's why the RNA virus, they get mutated soon and they can make a different variety of their strains. So here, though they both get mutated, but the mutation takes place into the DNA is more functional, we can say. Now able to express themselves. This characteristic will be followed by RNA, not by the DNA. Why? Because when DNA wants to get expressed, it needs to be converted into the RNA. It needs to be produced RNA through transcription. Okay, and after transcription, the RNA will be formed and RNA to protein. So whatever the gene is responsible, यहाँ पे अगर genetic material है, genetic material का काम क्या है? They want to synthesis. This is a gene, and this gene want to produce certain proteins. So this gene is responsible for production of the certain proteins. What you need to do is they have to do transcription. They have to first produce the RNA, and then after they can produce the protein. So the DNA themselves is not directly expressive, whereas the RNA is the directly expressive. They will make protein. So if we conclude, 3 points over here and 3 points over here are the number of the points, positive points, both the sides are same. But as we can say, this second property, that is chemically and structurally stable, is there in the DNA. So this discussion indicates that both RNA and DNA can be functional as genetic material. Both the DNA and RNA can be functional as the genetic material, but DNA being more stable is preferred for storage of genetic information. Okay, so DNA being more stable, so that is preferred as a storing material, storing some hereditary informations. Okay, hope you clear till now. In the next session we will discuss the point number 6.2 6.3. Okay, thank you.